Terror group ISIS. The suspects allegedly collected guns and ammo and went to shooting ranges to practice for possible attacks at an LGBTQ nightclub in Ferndale.
We see that there's a lot of evidence there that shows that there was this plot that was undertaken. We see things like the obtaining of weapons, 2 AR-15 or 3 AR-15s, 2 shotguns, some pistols, 1,600 rounds of ammunition, a large number of magazines. Talk about trying to do something similar to the 2015 Paris attack.
We're told there is no threat to the public.
The other developing story that we're following right now, a deadly workplace shooting in Lapeer.
Investigators say one man was shot and killed at a manufacturing business in Almont. The alleged shooter then took off and was later spotted roughly 10 miles away. That's where he was shot by a sheriff's deputy and taken into custody. Fox 2's Charlie Langton with the latest on the investigation.
What we have here is a murder and an officer-involved shooting. 2 separate scenes. Let me start with first the murder. About 8:30 Wednesday morning, a suspect that was known to the people here at the Trims Unlimited facility here. He goes in, targeted, shoots someone one time. That person eventually dies. The suspect then takes off, goes about 10 miles to Lapeer County, where other officers and Lapeer County, Michigan State Police, and Imlay City, they corner the suspect. The suspect then must have done something that the cops did not like, because the cops, 2 of them, took out a gun and shot the suspect. Suspect was then taken to a hospital where we don't know his condition at this time, but he is alive and he is arrested.
All I can safely tell you here is the subject is known. He shot the suspect here. The suspect was transported to a local hospital and has since succumbed to his injuries.
The suspect stopped his vehicle here on Sutton Road near Wilder Road and engaged with the deputies. 2 deputies responded by firing their issued weapons, and the suspect was shot. He was immediately provided with medical aid and transported to a local hospital under arrest and is still in stable condition at that hospital.
It's very unnerving, I would, to say the least. You know, makes you just wonder what goes through people's minds.
A couple more information here. 3 officers were taken to the hospital. They suffered only minor injuries and they were released. 5 police cars were damaged in this incident. And now likely what's next here is that we do not know the reason for the shooting. That will have to be discussed, but likely criminal charges will follow, and they'll probably be brought soon. In Almont, Charlie Langton, Fox 2 News.
Well, more victims, survivors, now joining a lawsuit against a former DMC nurse in Sinai Grace Hospital, where the man is accused of committing repeated acts of sexual misconduct. Attorneys sharing new information about this suit today, and Fox News' Ingrid Kelly joins us now with more on a case that so many people have been watching so closely. Ingrid.
That's right. That's exactly right. You know, and as more and more victim survivors come forward, the question becomes, could this alleged misconduct have been prevented? The allegations horrendous, the number of victim survivors growing.
And today we announce the filing of additional lawsuits. We have them here for you. There are 4 lawsuits here that detail the grotesque abuse that this man imposed on people that were vulnerable.
Fire law and flood law combining forces in an ongoing lawsuit against former DMC nurse Wilfredo Figueroa Barreros, DMC Sinai Grace, and its parent company, Tenet Healthcare.
The caveat with one of these lawsuits is the whistleblower.
The whistleblower fired after speaking out about alleged sexual misconduct.
And who stayed on? Barrios. That was at Sinai Grace.
The survivor who joined the lawsuit already in motion was a co-worker of Barrios.
Was a nurse with Barrios. And the fact of the matter is, he sexually assaulted her, and that in that particular case, it was proven necessary to go to a criminal trial. He was bound over.
Barrios is accused of sexual assault against multiple patients.
He would utilize narcotics to sedate the women so that if he was ever questioned, he could just say, "My goodness, they're delusional."
The attorneys argue DMC and Tennant are accused of hiring an employee with a known history of assault and did not conduct proper background checks.
There are records that go back years where this man was interviewed by the Livonia Police Department on accounts of sexually assaulting women.
Sinai Grace says Berrios was not their employee and did not work for their hospital in any capacity in 2016 or 2020. The hospital released a statement which reads in part, "The hospital has rigorous processes in place to screen applicants prior to employment. There was no indication of a concern during that process." Back out here live, you know, those attorneys say every time a press conference takes place or a story airs about this case, more and more victim survivors step forward, and they believe that will happen today. And they also say it speaks to the potential, you know, magnitude of this case and how far it could go. Back to you in the studio.
Yeah, not only the people who may have been victimized by this person should be speaking up, but also other employees. Even though there's fear of retribution, that's the best thing you can do is speak up if you saw something or you heard something.
That's right. As they always say, you see something, say something. And you know what? You really wonder if things had, you know, taken place in the proper sense, how many victims would not have been, or alleged victims might not have been victimized.
Yeah, important stuff to get out there here tonight. Ingrid Kelly for us live. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Charges have now been officially filed against a man accused of assaulting a young child inside a McDonald's restaurant in Detroit. 34-year-old Joshua Joel Eli Brown is accused of following a 5-year-old girl into a restaurant bathroom where he then allegedly had inappropriate sexual contact with that child. He was arrested after police released images of the suspect taken inside the restaurant. A not guilty plea was entered for Brown on a charge of second-degree CSC. The judge gave him a $250,000 cash surety bond, and if he makes bond, he must then wear a GPS tether.
A Roseville woman will spend the rest of her life in prison after murdering a child she was babysitting 3 years ago. Now 24-year-old Kimora Hodges was sentenced to life without parole for that felony murder conviction and 15 to 40 years for first-degree child abuse. According to Macomb County prosecutors, a 22-month-old victim suffered a severe brain injury when being watched by Hodges in June of 2022. He later died. Caused the injury before dying. A jury found Hodges guilty in late July. Now to this story, the Fox 2 follow-up. The parents of 3 children killed after being trapped inside their burning home in West Bloomfield will not face charges. The children, ages 16, 15, and 12, are alone inside a home on Pembury Lane when it caught fire back in February. Police said the parents put special locks on the doors and windows because the middle child had a severe form of autism and had been known to leave the home unattended. The Oakland County Prosecutor's Office says investigators concluded the deaths resulted from a tragic accident and no crime was committed.
Bipartisan discussions are going forward on 2 issues, a path to fix the ACA tax credit, and then trying to get some assurances from the White House that they won't blow up a deal.
The federal government shutdown is now the longest in U.S. history, and while some lawmakers say a deal could be reached by the end of the week, the Democrats claim it all depends on the White House. At the same time, federal government shutdown continues to affect SNAP benefits, and it's causing a lot of uncertainty. And today, Mayor Mike Duggan was out at food banks helping to give out food. For some perspective on where things stand, here's Fox 2's Hillary Golston.
There definitely has been some movement on the federal front. We did see the USDA announce that it's going to tap into contingency funds worth more than $4.5 billion to partially fund SNAP through November. But there is going to still be a shortfall. That means that on the local level, many mayors are stepping up. In the city of Detroit, Mayor Mike Duggan authorized $1.75 million in emergency aid. How far do you think that $1.75 million will go here?
That will get us through next week, and we'll have something in place for the week after if we need it. So at this point, we're going 2-week blocks, 2-week schedules. We're calling our volunteers. I didn't think I'd see the day that we had more volunteers and we could staff shifts for the next 2 weeks, but we're going to have time, if this goes on, for every volunteer who called in to be able to take a shift and help the neighbors.
It's a tough time for a lot of people. How are you handling it?
Oh, I'm handling it. I just take it one day at a time.
I came just to try to get some food assistance, because I don't know what's going to happen. And I'm getting it for myself, and if I have, and I'm going to tell anybody I know, and if I can share with somebody, I will.
You're getting an infusion of cash from the city in these emergency funds. The question is, how long will it last? To ask the mayor about that. He has an expectation. What is your expectation?
My expectation, and strategically internally, we are looking at 2 weeks, a 2-week interval, right? What happens within the next 2 weeks? We're strong in that aspect, but after that, we are going to need the community just to continue to gather, and more especially to give.
And obviously, the impasse in Washington is the prime mover of this disruption. It's going to take Democrats and Republicans coming to the table to come to some sort of conclusion to get this government shutdown ended. It's already the longest in history. We are seeing some cautious optimism at this point that there is more movement amongst rank and file members, at least in the Senate. In Detroit, on the east side, I'm Hillary Golston, Fox 2 News.
Just gonna master the obvious here. I did not intend to match the clothing of my Phil and co-anchor today. So
happy accidents.
It was,
happy
yeah.
accidents.
it was a gray kind of a day, actually.
It was a great kind of a day. Yeah, some wind is blowing our way, right? Lori Pinson here with a look at that forecast. Hi, Lori.
Hi, thank you so much. I'll bring the bright colors.
You're the blue. You're the bright spot.
Thank you so much. I'll pay you later. We did have a little bit of a trace of rain out of the airport, though we do have some scattered showers in the area right now, courtesy of that area of low pressure. We topped out at 58 degrees for us today, so a little bit above the norm. And let's just see how we all continue to stack on up there. Yesterday's high was a bit warmer at 63 degrees. And here's where we stand right now, right about 50 in Troy, but you have to factor in it's kind of breezy out there, so it might add a little bit of a chill to the air. 35 degrees is what we're looking at for you overnight. Breezy conditions will continue, and a peek ahead next few days showing does get a little bit milder on Friday. Trade-off, though, is that we get into some rain and a much cooler day. Setting it up for the weekend. I'll let you know if you can expect a little bit later on. Dave.
All right, Lori, thank you very much. Well, it has been 50 years since the tragic sinking of the Great Lakes freighter Edmund Fitzgerald. The ship's legend lives on, and still ahead tonight, we'll take a closer look at the many theories about what went wrong.
That's just ahead, but first, police in Oakland County are searching for an armed man accused of robbing a gas station clerk at gunpoint. More of the video investigators want you to see as they work to get this guy off the street.
More fallout today from the ongoing government shutdown. The Great Lakes National Cemetery announced today on Facebook its Veterans Day ceremony in Holly is being canceled. We're told it's because of the ongoing shutdown and a lack of funding. Now, the cemetery will be open for visitors who still want to pay their respects next Tuesday. Detroit, known as the Motor City, but a local advocacy group says tens of thousands of residents don't have their driver's licenses, and that can drive people into poverty.
Yeah, Fox News' Brandon Hudson met an Air Force veteran who lost his home and almost lost his business because he didn't have a license. He shares his story and how an attorney helped regain his livelihood.
To watch this person go from living in a shelter to now being permanently housed and buying their own car.
This is the story of two men. Gaylord Jones, a native Detroiter, Air Force veteran, and longtime entrepreneur.
I've been self-sufficient my entire life, basically. I've started making money when I was shining shoes on 12th Street.
And Charles Hobbs, a senior staff attorney from the advocacy group Street Democracy, who helped Jones reclaim his life.
We got to know each other very well on drives to courthouses to take care of matters.
6 years ago, these two met at Volunteers of America, Michigan in Detroit. Gaylord Jones couldn't work or keep staying at his family home because thousands of dollars worth of outstanding parking tickets kept him from getting a driver's license.
When we first contacted the Secretary of State, they said he was deceased. So we had to, it was probably one of the strangest things I've yet to see it again. Luckily, there's a lot of prosecutors and judges out there that do actually believe compassion is a fundamental element of justice.
Hobbs says he helped Jones complete homeless court and create an action plan to handle those other legal matters. You go to the Secretary of State, you take that picture, you get that license in your hand. What was that feeling like?
Oh yeah, to have it back, it was amazing. I could think about going to buy a car.
Is it safe to say it's a sense of freedom that you hadn't had in a while?
Oh, a long time, yes, absolutely.
To get that victory, to help him get his license, what did that mean for you?
Oh, it's huge. Those are the moments that we live for.
For more than a decade, Street Democracy has worked with the VOA Michigan to help veterans like Gaylord Jones make a breakthrough, and in the process, make a lifelong friend. In Detroit, Brandon Hudson, Fox 2 News.
And Fox 2 is proud to support the efforts to prevent and end veteran homelessness, not just in Metro Detroit, but across the country as well. That's why we are partnering with U.S. vets through the Make Camo Your Cause campaign. To learn more about the campaign or to donate, just scan the QR code right there on your screen. You can shop for camo or just wear it. Then snap a selfie or video and share on social media using #HonorUSVets. Dave.
Thank you, Roop. And HealthWorks weightlifting could be more beneficial for blood sugar control than previously thought. A new study involving mice found those that perform muscle exercises showed better blood sugar control than mice that simply ran on wheels, despite not building extra muscle or improving cardiovascular fitness. Researchers found that weightlifting more effectively reduced dangerous fat around organs, while running increased calorie-burning fat. Researchers say exercise still remains one of the most effective treatments for obesity and type 2 diabetes.
And a good Wednesday evening to you. I am looking at temperatures that cool and breezy for this evening and kind of averaging around that 49-degree range with a bit of cloud cover in place. See, we're 51 already at the airport. Winds are still very gusty out of the northwest at about 20 to 25 miles per hour. And that's not the actual gusts. Some of the gusts are up to about 28, 25 miles.